These are the directions for hexagon, spin, and fill, and this game will help you practice with fractions, specifically equivalent fractions and mixed numbers. So the first thing you will do is you will just go to the link for hexagon, spin, and fill. You'll find this in the Pear Deck, and it will also be in the classroom under Math Games. Once you open the link, you'll also see that the directions are always there for you. So if you forget how to play this game, you can either replay this video or reread the directions. So to summarize, you are going to go to the second little tab at the bottom, which will take you to your record sheet. And when you get to the record sheet, you're going to have to share this with somebody at home so you can decide who's going to be player 1 and who's going to be player 2. And you can just know that one player is going to be the top or one player is going to be the bottom, or you can choose to label it with the drawing tools. Then you're going to spin the spinner, and you are going to place the pattern block, which is over here on the left, for the fraction that you spun. So I spun 1/6, and I know that 1/6 of the hexagon is a triangle. And if you're not sure, you're going to have to do some exploring to see which pattern block is that fraction on the triangle. And then player 2 would spin. So player 2 spins, and they get 1/3. And I know that the blue rhombus is 1/3 of the triangle. And it goes back and forth. And if you're having trouble deciding at home who's going to go first, you can do rock, paper, scissors, or whoever's birthday is first. Now I got 4/6. So I know that 4/6 is going to be 4 of these triangles. But I want to have the fewest pieces possible. I'm going to have to do some flipping around of these. So I know that I'm going to have to, I'm going to go ahead and just show you what the 4/6 looks like. It's not lined up perfectly, but that's okay. So you can see I just added 4/6, so now I have a total of 5/6, but I can make a trade here. I can trade in 3/6 for a red trapezoid. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to just set these off to the side, and I'm going to put a red trapezoid here. And I can also trade these two triangles. Those are equivalent to 1/3. 2/6 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. So I'm going to go ahead and put that over here. It takes a little maneuvering to get them on the hexagons just right. And they don't have to be perfect. And then it's the next player's turn. So that player got 2/3. So they are actually going to wind up with one full hexagon. Let me turn it so you can see that they're going to end up with one full hexagon. So I'm going to go ahead and just trade these in. And the object of the game is to be the player who gets all 3 of their hexagons full. So we just saw that 3/6 is equivalent to 1 whole. And we keep going back and forth. So now I have 4/6. So that's going to fill this one up. And then, and I know that I can make some trades here. Oh, I can just grab these ones from over here, actually. I have some of them flipped around already. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But I remember from these 3 triangles, I can actually trade that in for 1 trapezoid. And here I have a hole. So I'm going to trade all of that in for 1 whole. Now I have 1.5. Remember, 1.5 is a mixed number. So play goes back and forth between the 2 players until one player fills all 3 of their hexagons. Now, if you go over, that's okay. So if you got to the very end and you just needed another half, well, the half is the biggest one, so that's not a good example. Say you got to the very end. Let's say that you had a half here, and this was full, and you had a rhombus here. You had a third here, and you spun another rhombus. That's okay. You can go over. You can trade that in for a triangle, a 1/6 piece, and then you'd have 1/6 extra. So I hope you have fun playing hexagon, spin, and fill.